burpees. So it's taking our burpee to a little bit different level, working a little bit more of those legs, okay? So how we're going to go about is a regular burpee. So a couple of ways you do the burpee. I personally like to go down, keep my legs out. You want to make sure that your chest and your thighs touch the floor. You're going to come back up, and then we're going to just hang out at the bottom of the squat. Okay, so it's going to look a little something like this. And you're going to alternate back and forth. Okay, so again, kind of from the side, we want to come down, kick our legs out, touch, up, just like so. That is the surfer burpee. All right, y'all, the next exercise we're going to do is a squat with the barbell, the Olympic bar, either in the front rack or on the back. Okay, so that's going to be the option for today. Either one you want to do is perfectly fine. They share a lot of similarities as far as how we set up, but there's going to be a little bit different effectiveness on the core versus the posterior chain. A little more core work in that front rack position, in that front squat. And you need to be just have a little bit more mobility to get into that front squat. Okay, so things are going to be changed just a little bit since we're at the center of our mass for the barbell changes from here to the back. Okay, but setup's going to be very, very similar with it. So I'll kind of show you without the bar first as far as how we're going to get set up for a squat. And we really want to make sure that we get under tension for a squat. Okay, now watching at home, if you want to do this at home and don't have a bar or anything like that, you can definitely do it with dumbbells, kettlebells, any type of weight you have out. If you want to kind of work on that front rack and have things change a little bit differently, you can always modify some things for that. Okay. So squat-wise, I want to make sure when I start out that my feet are roughly hip to shoulder width apart. I don't want to go super wide quite yet. I want to try and work in here. Now everybody's squat stance is a little bit different, okay? So it's not a one-size-fits-all like ever, okay? So keep that in mind. You could be a little bit different than me, but things will be happening the same way though, okay? So from the side, we're going to start here, start tall, okay? We're going to really engage that core. I want a little bit of a soft knee. I want to push my hips back just a little bit, right? I want to clear my hips out of the way. And then I want to squat down, pushing my knees out as I go down, and then coming back to the top. Working your way to parallel with your hips to your knees, if at all possible. Your hips and your shoulders, these guys need to go down at the same time. A lot of faults that I see, people coming down here, their hips won't let them go this far, and they want to try and take that squat down like this, right? If your hips stop moving, your shoulders stop moving. Period. Okay? We don't want to go down any further and put a lot of stress on the lower back. Alright? From the front, without weight, again, feet are roughly hip to shoulder width apart. I have my toes pointed out slightly here because I want my knees to be able to track over my toes. We're in a soft knee, hips back, deep breath. Back to the top. Now, with weight, we're going to do the same thing. When I get it on the bar, I want my hands to be, again, outside of my shoulders, outside of my hips. Here, when I get it on the bar, I want to make sure my both feet are underneath the bar here. This is going to be the back squat. Build that shelf, come out, take a couple of steps, but I'm going to remain the same here, right? Soft knee, hips back, deep breath. very similar. I'll pull things around the front here in a second to show you. Setup's going to be the same. A hand's going to be outside. And I'll give it a little bit from the front. Back squat from the front. Hands again wide outside of the shoulders. Both feet underneath. I'm bringing those elbows down. I want to build that shelf on top of my shoulder blades. Right there for the bar to sit. Those muscles right on top. Stand straight up. Walk out. Gonna get my footing. Here, kind of see where I'm at. Soft knee, hips back, deep breath. Come right back to the rack. Front. Again, elbows up nice and high. You're building the shelf on your delts right there on the front of your shoulders. Soft knee, hips back, deep breath. Come back in. Make sure those knees point out over those toes. We don't want to ever come in here with knees coming in. Push those knees out, activate those adductors. All right, y'all, next thing is a box jump or step up. So this here is a 24-inch box, give or take. I think it's within like a 1/4 of an inch. So use a box that's going to be appropriate for your abilities right now. Okay, so we don't want to go super tall if we're not quite there yet. We want to get up enough mobility and everything to make sure we get to the higher boxes. It's all about explosive power. It's about transferring that power from legs up. Core is going to be engaged to land on the box with both feet. Okay, so this is what we're going to work with, a 24-inch box. So when we get to the box here, we want to be slightly behind or in front of the box, depending how you want to look at it. Okay, I do want to use my arms to come up and help me with the jump. Okay, so I definitely want to use all momentum I have coming up and landing on the box. So when you're down here, you don't want to jump off your heels. You want to put a little bit of weight on the balls of your feet, right? That's where you get that spring in your step. It's hard to jump from your heels. You don't quite get the same spring, right? So we want to be out, I'd say about a foot or so length away from the box, foot being wherever your foot is. To do here, I want to get my feet just underneath my hips. Stand straight up. Step up, same thing. We want to step up, 1 foot on, all the way to the top, lock out, back down, alternate, up, back, down. On the box step ups, you definitely want to plant that foot flat and as much on the box as possible. You want to get the whole foot on top of the box and really pushing through that heel to the top. Make sure you're locked out on the top, on the box jump, and the step up. I'm going to pull this out here, and we're going to do a quick little crunch right here. Alright, y'all, the crunch is pretty simple. I'll kind of go both directions here so you can see what's going on. So with the crunch, you want to be, of course, flat on your back. You have an option of putting your feet close to you like this, keeping your legs straight up. Works out really, really well because we're not going to go all the way to the knees anyway. We're just really going to activate those abs, right, and push our lower back into the floor. So the best way to do this is to really, like I said, get your feet close to you. You want to plant them so they don't slide too much, okay? I personally like to have my hands kind of across my chest. I don't want to have them behind my head because that really it helps you. Well, when you put your hands behind your head, you have a tendency to pull up like this and use your arms to pull up and then really start wrenching your neck, okay? So we want to isolate those abs. We want to get those arms and everything out of the equation. So if you just concentrate on putting crisscross here, okay? Or we're going to just come up. My shoulders right now are flat on the floor. When I come to the top, my shoulders are off the floor and I'm just engaging my abs. I can actually squeeze my abs, feel them squeezing, pushing my lower back into the floor. Basically like you feel like you're pushing your belly button down. Okay? Be sure you breathe through this. I don't want any red faces and people like passing out because they want to just get through these. So again, okay, from the front, if it'll help any, we'll kind of go here from the front. All right, y'all, next thing on the agenda here is a single leg wall sit, okay? So now, this is a little more advanced wall sit. So if you just want to do both legs on the floor to start off with, I encourage that, really. Get that core engaged. Make sure you know what muscles that you're working, what muscles are going to be helping you keep stable, even in the wall sit, right? You'll kind of see that your abs are working a little more maybe than your quads, than your posterior chain, okay? So, but setup is really important on the wall sit. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the front, and I'm going to try and get something from the side as well for you. So from the front, when I come down to my wall sit, I want to be just like I'm in a parallel squat, okay? So I want to be ultimately, where my heels and everything are right underneath my knees, okay? So basically, if I was to stand up here, I'm in a squat position. So I'm just coming down into here to my squat and coming all the way down to where I am parallel right here, pushing my back against the wall. So I'm now in a good wall sit position. I can feel it really coming through my calves, my quads, everything. So we're going to take it to the next level, so we're going to have to adjust a few things, okay? You still want to keep everything engaged at core, but we're just going to, I like to bring one foot in a little bit, and then you bring that leg up, right here, and hold it for as long as you can, then back down, okay? So deep breath, back down, okay? So that's a single leg wall sit for the workout. Like I said, if you need to adjust where it's just both legs on the floor, perfectly fine. Do that. Nothing wrong with it, okay? Let me get a shot from the side so you kind of see what's going on from there. Just turn this. I think we can see everything good here. So I mainly just want to show leg position from the side. Again, down here, I want my ankles, my heels right underneath my knees. That's the ultimate position, the optimum that we want to be in right here. So I got my hips in line with my knees. Here, my hip crease. Boom, so I know I'm good in parallel. I can feel it everywhere, my posterior chain, my hamstrings, my quads. I can feel it in my calves. I can feel it a lot, okay? So this is where I want to be in this position here from the side. And again, if you just want to hold it here, that's perfectly fine. Things I see a lot though, people coming up like this in the wall sit, or even down here. I don't see this too often. It's more like this, because yeah, it's going to get very tiring very quickly, okay? The lactic acid is going to build up in those quads, and it's going to be painful. But really work on keeping here, engage that core, engage everything here, the posterior chain, glutes, down, okay? Alright, y'all, next thing we're going to work on here is next thing on the agenda is a single leg Romanian deadlift. Okay, so Romanian deadlift is it's a little bit different than conventional deadlift where your hips get really low in the deadlift, right? So you're kind of using more of this to get the bar or the weight up in the air, okay, to this position. We're going to be more of a hip hinge here on the Romanian deadlift, okay? So that's where things come in just a little bit different. It does tend to work a little more of the glute, a little more posterior chain, even down into the hamstring, right? So it works a little bit, well, a few more muscles and everything in there, for sure. So you have to be kind of prepared for this one. Adjust your weight accordingly. I would start off with something that's medium-ish for you, okay? And then kind of work your way up if you feel like you get more reps in and everything that way. Of course, keeping with that nice form the whole time, right? We want to keep that form going. It's going to break down as we get through the workout. Our form has tendency to break down. That's just a natural thing, okay? So we really need to pay attention to that form whenever we do our workouts and to try and get that weight and everything in our set count just right, how many reps in the sets, so we don't start really losing that form, okay? So it's really going to be form over the function on this particular one. So, single leg Romanian deadlift, okay? I am going to start off kind of medium as well, all right? So we're going to isolate one leg at a time. Now to be safe with this, I'm going to start here on my left leg planted. My right leg is going to go up, And whatever leg is going to go up in the air, that's the side that I want to have the weight on, because we're going to be hinging at the hips, okay? So come up, we're going to deadlift here with the kettlebell, okay? So this arm, I want to keep out, the arm that's not working, out in space somewhere, because I want to use that for some counterbalance if I need to. You'd be surprised how much this helps just by moving your arm around for some counterbalance, okay? So it may happen quite a bit on this one, to be honest with you. So the plant leg, the knee needs to be soft. We don't want a locked knee where we can have a chance of hyperextending that knee or anything that way. We want to be safe with this particular remaining deadlift, right? It's an awesome thing to do. It's an awesome exercise. It does hit a lot of points, but we need to make sure we do it safe, okay? So, knee soft, planting my foot firmly on the floor. I've got my shoulders back, my core tight. Deep breath. I'm going to come down as far as I can, about mid-shin, and back to the top. One more. Okay, again, we're going to keep that back nice and flat. So, coming from the side, I'll show you all here my plant leg on the same side. I'm going to have a soft knee. I'm going to have my shoulders back nice and flat, core as tight and stable as I can. So that is a Romanian deadlift. Alright, wall balls are next. So wall ball, now if you're at home, of course, doing this, wall balls may be a little bit tough, right? You can use maybe a basketball, a volleyball, a soccer ball, things like that may be soft. I suggest do it outside. We have a little more height for the ceiling. I know we can't see the ceiling height here. Our ceiling height here, plates on plates, is 10 foot. And that's kind of what you're shooting for guys, 10 foot, for ladies, around a 9 foot mark. So if you have an outside wall, you can put a piece of tape on. That would be the perfect thing to do, right? This is a good one to do outside, especially since the weather is becoming nice and cool. We like to get outside to do stuff. So pick a weight that's going to be good for you. Of course, now we have all of our med balls here, right? They're nice and soft. Don't get me wrong, they still hurt when they hit you in the face. Hopefully that won't happen, but they do. Okay, so kind of from the side-ish looking here, I want to get away from the wall, and I want to be about a good distance away. I don't want to be too close or too far away, because I want that ball to track up and down as little bit of arc as possible. So I like to have about an arm's length away from the wall, right here. So whenever I got the ball by the side, right here, that's where I want to be. Now, I want my feet, personally for me, I like them to have a little bit wider. I like to be a little bit deeper in that squat. Okay, I want to be efficient with the throws for the wall balls. I like to be just a little bit wider. Everybody's different. Everybody's mobility is different. Okay, just make sure that the knees stay out regardless of how wide you go. So when I start off, I'm going to start with the ball right here in front of me. Okay, so I don't want to do any granny shots with the ball up. It's all going to be a toss like that, but I'm going to add a squat to it. Okay. And come down, nice deep squat, come up, toss, catch. Okay, so that is the wall ball on that. Let me see if I can get a little shot from the side. want to be away from the wall. Feet a little bit wider. I want my heels to be about shoulder width. Ball here in front of me. I'm going to squat down, toss. Alright, last thing we have today is the dumbbell alternating forward lunge. And it's exactly how it sounds, okay? So I'm going to show you a little bit from the side, then I'll turn around and kind of get you from the front. So, a couple of different ways that we can actually hold the dumbbells for this particular movement, okay? And it does change the dynamics a little bit as we go, okay? So, it's going to be up to you, what's going to be most efficient for you to keep you in that good form. Alright, so with the forward lunge, let's just kind of do it without weight to begin with. Is we want to make sure we're going to go forward with one leg, the other leg's going to stay back over here too, okay? So this leg's going to stay planted. I'm going to move out with my front leg, my right leg to the front. This knee is going to touch, and this foot's going to plant here in front of me. Like so. Ultimately, I want to keep a 90-degree angle here, a 90-degree angle here, and I want my chest up nice and tall. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on that. So whenever we come back up, I have everything in place. I have my feet nice and wide. I'm going to push up through my heel, back to the top. Alternate. Like so. So you want to make sure that knee touches back here in the back. You plant it nice and solid in front so you can push through the heel on the way back. Okay? So a couple of different ways we can do the weights. One way here is basically just like the suitcase style, or just holding them here by our side, like farmer's carry style. Okay? So always want to be safe when we get the dumbbells. We're going to try and squat down as much as we can. Use those legs, deadlift them up. I want to be here. Now, with this particular position, it does tend to get in the way a little bit more of your legs. Okay? As you're going through, you kind of see what I'm talking about. But we're going to alternate a couple times, see what we have going on. Always want to keep my shoulders back here, and I want to keep as upright as possible. I don't want to round it back. That's going to push me more forward. That's going to really, it's going to be ineffective. We're only going to burn out a lot quicker. Engage as many muscles as you can to help you out with this. Okay? So, in, there. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to get these guys in the front rack. So I want to go up clean here in the front rack position like so. Okay, I have one heavy dumbbell resting on my shoulders, and the rest of it I'm carrying right here. This way it kind of gets those dumbbells out of the way. From the front. So that's it. That's what we have going on for the workout for today. Again, everything can be done with the weights that we have here. It can be done with what you have at home. It can be done without weights as well. So it really depends on where you're at. The biggest thing is you want to get a good burning workout in, okay? This particular workout is a 60, 80, and 100 rep challenge in about 38-minute time frame. Okay? So if you want to choose a 60 reps, I suggest going a little bit heavier with your workout, with your weights. 80 reps, moderate, right? Something you can get through a good 10 rep set without putting the bar or the weights down. 100 rep challenge, no, opposite. You gotta cut that out. Cut that out. The 100 rep, 60, 80, 100 rep challenge. The 60 reps is if you're going, like I said, really, you're going heavier on things, okay? So you're lucky to eke out probably 5 to 6 reps per set, depending on how heavy you want to go. 80 reps is more medium to moderate weight, so you can probably bust out 10 reps or so with the weight that you have on the bar, or the weight that you have here, whatever you're using for weight-wise. 100 reps is going to be more the cardio style, a little faster pace, right? We're going to use lighter weights, faster pace, more reps in a set. You know, you can go up to 15 reps, 20 reps in a set, if that's what you want to do, right? That's kind of what we're looking at when we do the 100 reps, is a higher volume. That's going to be faster, of course, for that, and it's going to bring the heart rate up a lot more. So depending on what you're looking to get out of the workout, 60, 80, 100 reps is a good thing for you to kind of gauge, see where you're at with it. And personally, I set a goal for what I want to do, and then I write that goal down, and then I know what my time is, and then next time we do the workout, if I want to do it again in a month or so, then I know where I was at with the weights, with my time, and my, you know, I want to beat that time. That's my mentality for these workouts. So hope y'all learned a little bit today as far as what we got going on and how to safely and properly do these lifts. Again, safety is paramount, right? We want to make sure that we do things in a safe way. We'll eventually get heavier and heavier. That's how it works, right? But we don't want to get there all at one time. We want to start off what we're capable of, keeping that form. As a form, we get better and better at it. We're going to get heavier and heavier, and we're going to get stronger and stronger. But it takes time to do. So fitness is a journey, you know. It takes some time to do it. And the journey is 100% worth it, I promise you guys. All right, so this is Chad with Place on Place Fitness. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.